Making headlines this hour, Minister of Legal Affairs at the President's Office, Azima Shakur, states that the forceful influence exerted by foreign countries in the internal matters of Maldives has had negative effects on the country. PPM Parliamentary Group Leader Ahmad Nihan Hussain Manik states those who are arrested in relation to the attempted judicial coup will remain in custody even though the state of emergency expires. Singaporean company Tough Offshore Engineering Private Limited commences the practical work of developing the runway of Mafur Airport in Noon Atoll. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome you all to PSM News in English. I'm Zihunat Hassan here with the news in details. Minister of Legal Affairs at the President's Office, Azima Shakur, states that the forceful influence exerted by foreign countries in the internal matters of Maldives has had negative effects on the country. Speaking on a program aired on PSM News, Azima Shakur cited that some individuals are trying to portray Maldives as a country which does not follow the principles and guidelines of international bodies and communities. In this regard, Minister Azima questioned the reported dealing of foreign vessels traveling using a Maldivian flag was a mere coincidence or a deliberate attempt to tarnish the country's image. Azima noted that such efforts have negative and destructive effects on both the economy and the social, peaceful running of the country. Azima affirmed that the administration of President Abdullah Yamin Abdul Gayoom would assure the peaceful running of the country and would not allow any individual to topple the lawfully elected government. PPM Parliamentary Group Leader Ahmad Nihan Hussain Manik states those who are arrested in relation to the attempted judicial coup will remain in custody even though the state of emergency expires. Speaking at a press conference held by PPM MP for Vilimale constituency, Ahmad Nihan refuted rumours that individuals in custody will be released once the state of emergency expires, highlighting the authorities who will carry out investigation of the case. Nihan assured the investigation is progressing at a fast pace, noting that such rumours are spread to undermine the security of the country. Parliamentarian Ahmad Nihan affirmed that no one brought to custody will be released without a full investigation. Ministry of Gender and Family establishes child-friendly interview rooms in 2 atolls to allow social workers to interact with child victims of violence, abuse and neglect. In this regard, Gender Ministry along with United Nations Children Fund UNICEF and Maldives Police Service established child-friendly interview rooms in Family and Children's Service Centres in Ilandu Island of Faf Atoll and Kudahudu Island of Dal Atoll. Both the rooms were inaugurated by Minister of State for Gender and Family, Dr. Mariam Jabin. According to the ministry, child-friendly interview room will be established in other atolls as well. Singaporean company Tough Offshore Engineering Private Limited commences the practical works of developing the runway of Mafur Airport in Noon Atoll. According to the developer, the 2,200-metre airport would have the capacity to land aircrafts on Airbus A320 Boeing 737. Meanwhile, works of developing the parking apron and taxiway also continues. Noon Atoll being one of the key areas where tourism industry is fast progressing at a fast pace, the administration's goal of developing an airport would increase the atoll's prominence in this industry. Under this objective, a passenger terminal, a VVIP terminal and private jet parking space is developed to attain this goal. In addition, a 100-bed, 50-room city hotel is also planned to be developed in Mafur Island. According to the developer, Mafur Airport in Noon Atoll is developed in an expenditure of $60 million and is expected to be completed by July this year. Maldives Sports Limited MPL reveals that the company would open application process for apartments built by the company under HERE project by the end of this month.
The HIA project, which is a key initiative of President Abdullah Yamin Abdul Qayyum to provide housing for employees of state-owned companies, has designated towers for various companies. President Abdullah Yamin Abdul Qayyum and First Lady Fatma Ibrahim inaugurated the HIA housing project as part of the administration's housing policy. MPL contracted the construction of 3 of its towers to a Singaporean company. MPL revealed that 14-story 3 towers would have 333 bedroom apartments and 204 one-room studio apartments. MPL revealed that works are progressing at a fast pace to provide a route easing payments for housing loans by the staff of the company. In this regard, MPL has carried out discussion rounds with various banks and the Pension Administration's office to lease loan from the pension fund. According to MPL, foundation works of the 3 towers are commencing at a fast pace in Hulumale's second phase. President Abdullah Yamin Abdul Qayyum has assured that the housing issues faced by Maldivians will be solved with the largest housing project ever to be inaugurated in Maldives. A total of 10,080 housing units will be developed in 36 towers, which would include apartments of 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms. Private companies along with state companies and government offices are part of the first-of-its-kind mega project.
Maldives Transport and Contracting Company MTCC reveals that all works of constructing the Kurdufushi Airport is expected to be completed and would be out on service by the end of July this year.
The reclamation of land needed to develop the airport was inaugurated by President Abdullah Yamin Abdul Qayyum. MTCC reclaimed a total of 15 hectares of land, with 6 hectares from the west side of the island and 9 hectares from the mangrove area in Kurdufushi to develop the airport. The government also contracted MTCC with the shore protection project of the reclaimed area. The land reclaim project and shore protection project were contracted to MTCC to be completed within 6 months. A total of 1.2 kilometer long and 30 meter wide runway, a taxiway, and an apron at Kurdufushi Airport is also contracted to MTCC to be developed under the $11.9 million project. In an exclusive interview with PSM News, Director of MTCC Muhammad Husham revealed that all works of reclaiming land for the airport was completed in January this year, while revetment works of the airport is commencing at a fast pace. In this regard, Husham noted that currently, works of creating soil beds required for the runway is progressing and assured that all works of the project is commencing as per the given timeline. Husham cited that the company is aiming to complete all works of the airport by the end of July this year.
Hadal Atoll welcomes its first resort named Hondafushi Island Resort. Hondafushi Island Resort is located 7 kilometers from Hanimadu and is accessible by a 55-minute domestic flight from the main Velana International Airport to the Hanimadu Airport, followed by 10-minute speedboat ride. The resort, developed by 3A Hotel and Resorts, measures 2 kilometers in length and 500 meters in width and is the 5th resort opened by the company in Maldives. While Hondafushi opened with 80 rooms and 160 beds, it aims to add 100 rooms per year, with plans to have at least 400 villas when completed. 3O Hotels and Resorts also run Filiteo Island Resort in Faf Atoll, Medufushi Island Resort in Mimi Atoll, and Batala Island Resort in South Ari Atoll. Ministry of Tourism reveals that tourist arrivals from China registers a record-breaking amount in February. According to the latest statistics of Tourism Ministry, an incline of 19% has been registered in the Chinese tourist arrivals in February this year, by culminating in tourist arrivals of 33,506. According to these statistics, this is an incline of 33% compared to February last year. Despite the declaration of state of emergency in Maldives, tourist arrivals increased by 19.2% in February compared to the same period of last year. 144,286 tourists arrived last month, boosting the number of tourist arrivals to 286,000, 637 in the first 2 months of 2018, according to monthly statistics of Ministry of Tourism. This is recorded as an increase of 16.3% compared to the same period of previous year. Tourist arrivals from Europe were recorded as the most number of tourist arrivals from a single market. Hideaways magazine awards Wakar Maldives with the Newcomer of the Year award in conjunction with ITB 2018, which concluded early this month. Hideaways publication house organized their annual award ceremony in Berlin. It is notable that Wakar Maldives was awarded the prestigious award within a short period since its opening. The first group of tourists arrived in the resort was welcomed during December last year. Wakar Maldives is located in the UNESCO Biosphere Reserve of Baitol and is accessible by a 25-minute seaplane flight from Main Velana International Airport. China's parliament re-elected Li Keqiang as the country's premier.
China's parliament re-elected Li Keqiang as the country's premier and appointed a senior graft buster as head of the country's new anti-corruption body. Li, 62, was re-appointed with 2,964 votes in favour and only 2 no votes, which kicked off his second 5-year premiership. Supervisor Minister Yang Jiado, who is also a deputy head of the party's own graft-fighting Central Commission for Discipline Inspection (CCDI), was elected head of the National Supervision Committee, which will have a wide remit. Yang, 64, worked in China's financial hub Shanghai for 2001 to 2014, coinciding with President Xi Jinping's brief job there as the city's party chief in 2007. She has waged war on deep-rooted corruption since assuming office more than 5 years ago, locking up dozens of senior officials. On Tuesday, Parliament will formally pass the law that will give the new Supervision Commission its legal framework, the state constitution having already been amended last weekend to accommodate the new body.
The Turkish-backed Syrian rebel fighters enters the town of Afrin shortly before dawn. We take a closer look.
A spokesman for the Free Syrian Army FSA rebel fighters said Turkish-backed Syrian rebel fighters entered the town of Afrin shortly before dawn and have taken control of parts of it after Kurdish YPG forces pulled out. Mohammed al-Hamadin said the fighters had so far not encountered any opposition. Video posted on social media on Sunday appears to show a group of fighters from Al-Hamza Brigade, part of the FSA, walking in Afrin city. Turkey's President Tayyip Erdogan said later on Sunday the center of Afrin was entirely under control and Turkish flags had been raised in the northern Syrian town. A senior Kurdish official and a monitoring group said more than 150,000 people have been displaced in the last few days from Afrin town.
Morocco proposes using 14 stadiums and budgeting to spend $15.8 billion on infrastructure if it wins the right to host the World Cup soccer finals in 2026.
Morocco's bid committee announces that it will be using 14 stadiums and budgeting to spend $15.8 billion on infrastructure if it wins the right to host the World Cup soccer finals in 2026. But Morocco will not build any new stadiums for the tournament, preferring to renovate and modify existing venues and add temporary capacity to others, said candidature chairman Moulay Hafid El Alami, who is also a government minister. The North African country is up against a joint bid from Canada, Mexico and the United States when World Soccer governing body FIFA's member countries decide in Moscow on June 13 who will host the tournament 8 years from now. Saturday's news conference revealed details of Morocco's bid book, which was presented to FIFA on Friday, with the central theme being making their football infrastructure sustainable after the tournament and keeping down construction costs. At least 5 stadiums, termed legacy modular stadiums and with largely temporary capacity, will be downscaled after the finals to meet the specific needs of their local communities. Morocco bid unsuccessfully to stage the 1994, 1998, 2006 and 2010 World Cups. The country was second to the US in 1994, behind France in 1998 and just lost out to South Africa for the 2010 finals, the only time the event has been held in Africa.
The world's most expensive chocolate goes on display at the chocolate fair in Óbidos in Portugal.
Priced at $9,489 and covered in edible gold, the chocolate is part of a limited edition of 1,000 bonbons. It has a filling of saffron threads, white truffle, vanilla from Madagascar and gold flakes. It was guarded by two uniformed men. Its creator, Portuguese chocolatier Daniel Gomes, said the diamond-shaped chocolate was certified as the world's most expensive by the Guinness Book of Records, which in 2017 listed $250 La Madeleine au Trèfle, made by Danish artisan chocolate maker Fritz Nipschilds, as the record holder. Its crown-shaped box is decorated with 5,500 Swarovski crystals and also carries personalized princes.
With that, we conclude the news for this bulletin. Thank you for joining and have a pleasant day ahead. Goodbye.